Welcome to Making It with Terry Wollman, the show that explores the secrets, successes, and strategies for making it in the music biz. And now, here's your host, Terry Wollman.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Making It, presented to you by Fireside. I'm your host, Terry Wollman, and my guest today is Emmy-nominated actress Mindy Sterling, the one and only. I appreciate you joining us every week and would like to share my intention that inspires this podcast. Time passes quickly, and I've learned that we should do what's in our hearts and do it well without apologies or excuses. I encourage you to create your life and art in your own unique way and express your artistry with joy and with abandon. Be willing to work uncompromisingly for what you believe in. Success will have a better chance of finding you when you live your life with integrity, focus, and passion. Be selfish with your discipline and selfless in your performance. And don't forget to have fun along the way. We have the perfect guest to talk about that as well. If you're joining us in our live audience today, we'll be inviting questions and comments during the second half of our show. So make it count. Simply request an invite to speak. And my moderator, Dr. Lisa, will bring you on stage to join the conversation. And also, in addition to wanting to just say hi, Mindy, and hi, Dr. Lisa, I want to say hi to all our friends in Miami, our hometown, right, Mindy?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. We share a birthright of growing up in a beautiful city.
Mm-hmm. That's so funny. I know.
Yeah. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Are you with us? Well, I see. It's okay. I see you there, so that's what counts.
I was looking for my microphone. I was checking to make sure if it was Mindy Sterling or Mindy Stir on Instagram before I posted it. Hi, Mindy.
Oh. Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so excited.
Thank you.
I am too.
I love meeting other actors.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful.
I'll say actresses because
doesn't matter.
I know. I always tell people, do you have a dentist or a dentistress?
Oh, very good. I like that.
It was actually one of my questions because
See?
in your bio it says actress, and I normally say actor, non-gender. Do you have a preference or?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
The checks get to us. We kind of take either one.
Absolutely. That's it. You got it.
So let me tell everybody about my guest, and then we will jump in further to this conversation. And this is a fun one for me because just because it's you, Mindy, and you're such a wonderful everything person, actor, actress, comedian, and mom, and all those things. We're going to be getting into all of that. Let me tell my guest about you. Our guest, our listening audience. Mindy Sterling is a 2-time Emmy nominee for her work on Con Man and Sex and Execs. She's probably best known for her portrayal of Frau Farbissina, Dr. Evil's German henchwoman and lover in all 3 Austin Powers films. Other feature film credits include The Grinch Who Stole Christmas and Drop Dead Gorgeous. Mindy's television credits include The Goldbergs, Grace and Frankie, a series of unfortunate events, Blackish, One Day at a Time, Two Broke Girls, Desperate Housewives, iCarly, and many more. Her voiceover career includes American Dad, Family Guy, Loud House, Voltron, Scooby-Doo, Chowder, Justice League Unlimited, The Adventures of Puss in the Boots, The Epic Tales of Captain Underpants, Despicable Me 3, and as the voice of female Ox in the hit movie Ice Age: The Meltdown. She's been a member of the Groundlings since 1984. Mindy Sterling, hi, my friend. Welcome to Making It.
Hello. Thank you. I guess I made it.
Right. You have. That answers the final question, which we will circle back to. There's a couple things that I just want to just tick off at the beginning. One is, I heard that you're in a new commercial that's coming out. Is that true?
Yes, it is. And I think they just started with teasers.
Really? Are you?
So on Instagram, there's been a couple of teasers letting people know certain characters that are going to be seen on the Super Bowl.
Fun. We'll leave it at that.
Cool.
But I'm really excited for you, and I can't wait to see.
Yes.
And also, just a shout out, just because I'm thinking of this when we were talking about Miami. You're going to be in Jacksonville, Florida pretty soon for a live performance upcoming for Comic-Con.
Comic-Con, yes. So
When is
it's, I'm going to be at the February 25th, 26th, and the 27th
Okay.
in Jacksonville. So please, everybody, come and take a picture with me. And I love doing the Comic-Cons. I love seeing people and talking, but we'll all still be protected.
Great. Yeah.
Yes.
Safe and double safe in Florida.
Yes, yes, yes.
One thing that's interesting about you is as a well-known actor, I was going to use the word celebrity, but that's such an interesting word. Who even knows what that means? But as somebody who's recognizable, you actually like being recognized. You enjoy it. You enjoy talking to people and meeting people. It's
I do.
It's nice.
I love it. I love it. My mom was like that. I swear I'm sort of reincarnated, as I've taken a lot of her wonderful qualities. And, but I do. I'm very honored that people come up to me and tell me, who I am or what they saw me in and how much they like my work. And I think that the Comic-Cons are a wonderful place to meet people and give yourself to people for that, 10-minute or 5-minute moment
Right.
where they just, and we all have people in our lives or people that we would love to meet at some point because they've touched us in some way. They've made us happy. They've got us through some really hard times. And I'm so honored to be a part of that group of people that have made people laugh and cry and, and have moved them, to a better place. So, yeah.
That's great. Thanks for explaining that.
Yeah.
I agree with you. So I want to, in researching for our conversation, something came up and I wanted to tell you about that and kick off the show with that. First of all, I'm a huge fan of your acting and comedy. Even before we became friends, and we've been friends for many years.
Yeah.
We've performed together a couple of times. We've shared a lot of laughs and life and a couple great meals and so we know each other fairly well. Mm-hmm. And so as I do in preparing for all of my episodes, I research each of my guests, searching for interesting and unexpected things to talk about. And while researching your credits, I found myself taken aback by some very personal information about you published because you're a high profile celebrity actor. So I'd like to begin our conversation by maintaining your privacy as a public figure and instead of dedicating our conversation to what's really important to you. But I also, if you want, I'll share a couple of the things that I found.
I would love to hear something that maybe I don't know. Because sometimes they get them wrings. Yeah. This will be interesting.
And that's what I'm thinking. Brave you.
Yeah, of course. Well, so things started off sort of benign, and just normal. Mindy Sterling, born Mindy Lee Sterling, is an American actress. Cool. Sterling was born in Paterson, New Jersey. Her father is an actor and comedian, Dick Sterling. Her mother was a dancer. She has one brother, Mark Sterling. She is Jewish. I don't know what that has to do with the rest of the sentence. And they didn't mention your sister either.
No, that's so weird. Mark Sterling, and she's Jewish, not they're Jewish. I'm not... it's just me, yes.
Right.
That is the most bizarre thing, and it ends on that note, right? Yeah, the Jew girl.
Right. That's the closer. She is Jewish.
She is Jewish, period.
Right.
Have a nice day.
Sterling started to become an actress. Sterling started to become an actress. This is bad English, but it's a quote. Since 13 years old. Is that?
Yeah. Well, I think it was in 6th grade. The first thing I did was the Mikado.
Oh.
And so I really loved the idea of playing other people, and I didn't have to play myself. So I think I got into the theater because of that. And my dad, I'm sure, had an influence in me. But
sure.
No, at 13, my father thought, well, if you know Shakespeare, then you'll be a great actor. Well, I was 13. I was, still, playing outside with friends. And
sure.
So he set up every Saturday or something, I would have private Shakespeare lessons. And this lovely woman came. I don't remember her name. And she would give me these things, and I am not a Shakespearean person. I don't get into it. But she would give me these monologues that I would supposedly work on for the next week, which I never did. And then she finally just said, yeah, I don't think, Mindy, that, that you really want to do this. Am I right? And I was like, yes, but don't tell my dad. He'll be upset.
Right.
And she was like, don't worry. I'll explain to your dad. You're only 13. You have a lot of time, and blah, blah, blah. So it kind of ended nicely, but I was so nervous that my dad was going to be so angry with me. But, so I think that's why the 13, it was that number's there. Yeah.
And also, to put it in context, when we grew up in Miami, because it's the tropics, essentially, our parents would say, get outside, the sun's shining, go play with your friends, ride your bike, be home by 5. Get out of the house.
Oh, I was kind of a tomboy, and I wasn't, worried about how pretty I looked. I mean, I was just kind of a nerd, and we hung around the block. I had girlfriends and boyfriends around there, and we would just hang out. And I didn't do anything bad at that time. It was just that's exactly what it was. Just get out, come back for dinner. Yeah.
Right. All right, so let's go further, because then they start to get personal. This is when I kind of went, wait a second. Her natural hair is brown while her eyes are hazel.
My eyes are green. They're like cat eyes, I've been told. I've got little specks in them, so they're very interesting. My hair, I started doing my hair blonde. My mother actually suggested that because I was born a blonde, a platinum, and then, as...
you are? Okay.
As most kids are, not all of them, but, and then, it changes. So it was getting darker, and I just kept it blonde. I was blonde forever, Terry, until, I started becoming red, and now this color. It was Austin Powers that the hairdresser said, God, you would look so good as a redhead. And that way, when I did the films, she wouldn't have to constantly put a rinse on me, and I'd have to wash it out. So finally, I think it was the last Austin Powers, the third one, I said, all right, make me red. I mean, I can always go back. So I was red for a while, all different colors of red. And I mean, not anything crazy. Yeah. And then I'm just kind of plain. I've got, blonde highlights and some dark stuff. So I get to, play now with it. But so I guess, close.
It looks great. Great color.
Yeah. Thanks.
So Mindy is an avid pet lover who owns 2 dogs and a cat.
Never owned 2 dogs. I've owned several cats. I have 1 cat right now who's 17, and my dog is 12. So close, but yeah.
Yeah. I wonder where they get this stuff from. I don't
know.
So all right, here's some more. She is active mainly on Instagram with over 15,000 followers.
I think it's 16.
You're right. I looked it up. While her Twitter account has over 3,000.
I'm not much Twitter.
Neither am I. You're close to 4,000 now. Mindy mainly posts photos of her son Max with her animals and an occasional selfie. In her free time, she likes to cook and spend quality time with her son Max.
Okay, so definitely Max.
Yeah,
Max and I have a good time, but I am not a very, very good cook, and though I enjoy eating, I'm a very simple food person. Max, my son, is the big foodie, so he will cook. I will cook for him, and I'll go, how was it? And he'll go, he'll give me a note. He'll give me, it's kind of, the fish is tough. You put it in too long, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, all right, okay, well, a note taken, thank you. And what will you be making for me tomorrow night? So yeah, no, I never got into cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 3 more. And this is where I started to squirm a little bit, because I thought, do you want to do you want people to know this about you, or do you want to talk about it? Yeah. Well, has a son, Max Gatson, born in 1994 with her ex-husband, Brian Gatson. Max is autistic and began a career in stand-up comedy in May 2016.
Okay. So, Max is on the autistic spectrum.
Hmm.
He's very mainstream. He did do some stand-up comedy. One day he just said to me, I was like, well, what do you want to do? What are your dreams? Or is there anything you'd like to get into now? Take a class or blah, blah. And he goes, I want to do stand-up. And I was like, oh, okay. Wow. That's pretty brave. And he took a class nearby. And then at the end of, I don't know, is it 4 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever, he had a show nearby at this theater. And I went and I invited some of my friends and my brother, and he was hysterical. He's
a funny guy.
So
I love
funny.
Max. Yeah.
He's got a very big personality. I wonder where he got that from. And
I can't imagine.
But because his perspective and his point of view on things is going to be completely different than ours. I mean,
Right.
His is about autism and about, how he gets around in the world and what funny things happen to him that we will find funnier than him. But so he did do that for a while. Then he took another class somewhere else. He did another fantastic show. And so he tried to do, they have like, in some of these places, open mic night where people come and they perform and they try to get like a space or a time on when they're doing stand-ups. And he had a really hard time with that. He said the people in the audience, he wouldn't let me go. He said the people in the audience, they don't really laugh. Nobody says anything. And I said, yeah, they're all kind of thinking of themselves. They're not trying to be mean or anything, Max. And I think he did it 2 or 3 times. And then it was just, I don't want to do it. And he just kind of stopped.
What about stand-up for you, by the way? Because I've never seen you do stand-up, but you're a comedic actress.
I'm an improv person. I have, that's where from the groundlings, and that is where I really studied, and that's my first love is improv.
Right,
so
right.
I would go anywhere, just give me the first line or whatever you want to give me. So, and I'm a team player, so I'm better with other people as opposed to by myself. So I never really wanted to do stand-up, so that just wasn't interesting to me. And it's hard. It's very hard.
Yes, it's, right. And it's a different skill. It's a different skill from improv, being an improvisational expert, master,
right. Yeah.
Lover, of that whole approach, to life and acting. But you seem to be, I know you to be a fearless actress. And, I'm on stage, but also in film, you go for it. You seem like your embarrassment threshold is pretty low. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I think I really commit to something, whether it be right or wrong. I certainly have been told to, bring it down a little bit. Maybe just
reel it in.
Down. Reel it in. And the great thing about improv is you're your own master. You can do whatever you want, in terms of working with other people, but I can play whatever character I want, big, broad, whatever. So I've, I'm definitely always learning about how to change for certain roles, how to change for certain auditions. You want to, certainly develop a range so that I'm not always funny, but I'm a quirky person anyway, but I can also do something dramatic and something that doesn't require me to make you laugh and to, I think making you feel is the best medicine of anything. So, but you're right. I don't hold back.
Would you consider yourself fearless?
No, I have a lot of fears.
No.
I have a lot of anxiety and fears of, things.
Let me ask in a different way. Do you consider yourself a fearless actor?
I guess to a point.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think I would do anything that I felt was uncomfortable for me to a point where it has no meaning to it.
Right.
I never wanted to do anything, where it had to be nude. Mm-hmm. Or, something of that nature where, my son's going to see me.
Right.
Or I just never felt like nobody wants to see me. And it's not important to me. I don't need to show you anything.
Right.
in a scene.
So have you turned down roles because you just didn't feel like it was it just wasn't something within your essence that you wanted to do?
I mean, I've turned down offers of, little things that I didn't find that I could do anything with, or I didn't find it had my style,
Sure.
or that it made me laugh, or just made me feel something interesting. So I have turned down little things, nothing big, but so I think it's kind of nice to be in a position where, I mean, when you're first starting, you're like, I'll do it. What else? I'll do everything, and you're trying to make a name for yourself. And then you get to that place where somebody sends you something, or they ask you about something, and it's okay to go, I really appreciate it, but I'm going to have to pass.
Right.
For whatever reason. So that's a very powerful feeling
isn't it? Yeah.
Be able to do that and not feel that you hurt their feelings, or that if it didn't feel right for me, it just doesn't feel right for me. So,
right.
Yeah.
And the beauty about being a grown-ass adult is that you don't need to give the reason why or justify it. You just can be gracious and just say, thanks for thinking of me.
Always.
It's not really the right fit.
I just think in this business that the business is, it's so rough and tough in every way, from the top to not getting the part you really wanted, or you were almost there and last minute they gave it to, Charlotte Shushu, and just whatever, and there are lots of people that are not very nice and there for themselves, and just don't show any kind of compassion or consideration. And I always make sure that, or at least I try to make sure that I am nice to everyone, whether I like them or not. And if I'm working with you, I'm going to have to tolerate this. Same thing with people that are stand-ins or the crew. I really love all these people. We're all there together. If it weren't for them, I'm not going to show up well. So we all have a story. You never know why that person kind of looked like they ghosted you, or they just didn't say anything to you. And I always think, they're not happy, or they're afraid, or they're intimidated. And so I kind of try to give everybody a chance,
right?
Before I bash them or judge them.
Sure, that sounds healthy.
Yeah.
I want to talk about your journey, and I'm curious about not just all of the things that you've accomplished, but all the in betweens. Especially because you're on major films and TV shows, and then you're not. Like anybody or most people in the entertainment business.
Yes.
My business as well. But I want to, let's put some context to this also. I just want to talk about your mom and dad for a moment. Your dad, Dick Sterling, was an actor comedian when you were growing up. Comedy partner with Shecky Green, which is very cool.
Yes.
So you grew up exposed to what funny is. And what smart is, smart funny. I know you credit. Oh, I don't know. This might be not true as well because I read it on the internet. She credits him with giving her the timing to be a successful comedian. That sounds true.
My dad.
Your dad, yeah.
What a lovely thing to say. Yeah, I mean, I believe that, and because he was, really out there too, and he was incredibly supportive. My whole family. When I hear about people saying, "Oh yeah, my mother used to say to me, do something else.
Right.
That's a horrible business." Always supported me. I mean, like almost to a point of too much.
Well,
and,
Shakespearean lessons at 13. I mean, that's pretty cool that they did that.
And then was okay when I just didn't want to do it. Right. So they always supported what I wanted to do with my life and with my career. And I think that's so important to have that community behind you, whether it's friends, whether it's your family, whether it's your partner. If you don't have that, I don't know how we would survive.
Right. Right. Now, your mom also, June Vincent Sterling,
No,
known as, no, there you go. Lies, lies, lies.
I don't know who that is. No, my mother's name, we all called her Bookie.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to ask you
Bookie.
about that.
Okay, so her name was Bookie Rogers because she remarried my stepfather, and so June. I don't know who June is at all.
Wow.
I'm sure. Because it's what is it? June Sterling or June Vincent or what did you say?
June Vincent Sterling.
Yeah. So no.
Okay.
And that I know of, and
Case in point, right?
Yes. So no. So my mom and my mom and my biological father were married. Let's see, I think I was probably maybe 7 or 8 when they divorced.
Mm-hmm.
And then my biological father was the actor and singer, amazing singer, like bigger and better than, oh my gosh, what's his name? He had a big baritone voice. I'm just my brain. Anyway, he was wonderful.
I should know. I'm the musician in the conversation.
I know, but it's there. Maybe it'll pop out later. And then my mother was a dancer.
A dancer, showgirl.
She danced on Miami Beach at the shows. But she was a real dancer. They had the dancers, and then they had the girls that would walk around with their boobs,
Right.
and nipples, and they were the
Right.
showgirls. But she was a dancer, so she was a dancer, and so I would take dancing. You kind of follow through, what your family does and that kind of thing. But again, everybody was just whatever you want to do. Nobody was like, you should do this. My mother did give me one piece of advice that I thought was so right on for anybody at that time, and maybe now too. She said, great, I want you to be an actress, but as a backup, I want you to learn how to type.
Wow. Smart.
So I did take a typing class in school, and not really fast or anything, but because when I came to LA, I wasn't really a waitress material, but when I came to LA, I got like receptionist jobs.
Oh,
light typing.
Right.
I used a lot of the liquid paper, the liquid white
Right.
paper. Yeah.
I was a big friend as well.
Yes. But so at least I got that so that I could make a living, and then I could take classes or whatever I
Right.
wanted to do. So that was a good thing.
That's there's so much in that, and it's so interesting again, like the misinformation in what's really true about your life and personal things. It's just kind of interesting. So I'm glad we get to talk about this. All right, so let's talk. You moved to Los Angeles from Miami allegedly in the early 1970s. Correct me at any point.
No, that's true. That's true.
And somewhere around 1973, this is the earliest TV credit or film credit that I found in you. You landed a recurring role in the syndicated children's series Dusty's Treehouse, where you.
Yes.
Oh, it's an animated series. So
it was animated and it was animated and puppets and then real people.
So one of my
questions. Stu Rosen was the creator and the star and the loveliest man. And I remember when I got into the show, I think I did a couple of them or whatever. He said to me, he goes, "You know what? You're going to work a lot more when you're older." Because I was young. I was like an ingenue.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So what was that like? Between when you rolled in, did you drive cross country or fly out?
No. I had a boyfriend at the time who we both were from Florida. He came out first, and then I flew out, second,
Right.
and because he wanted to sort of get the legs, and I would then stay with him. Never ever moved. I never left home. I'd never been away from my family, and I was very close to my family. So it was really hard on me to go and live with my boyfriend at the time. And but I did have some relatives that were out here, so I knew some people. But it was very tough. I'm telling you, I was like 22 or 23, and
yeah, me too.
I was a little baby. I was.
Right.
I didn't know how to do the wash. I didn't, I really learned a lot.
Right.
And I remember I had to get a job. My boyfriend said, Mindy, you're going to have to get a job. I was like, oh, all right. And I think I saw it in the paper, and it said, door to door, and not antique, turquoise jewelry, to sell turquoise jewelry. I went door to door in Hollywood, in off a Hollywood Boulevard in Franklin.
That's rough.
And this little sweet little, blonde ingenue. And I think it lasted probably like an hour, and I started to cry and came back. I was just like, I can't do this. Oh my gosh. I was scared out of my mind. So it took a while to grow up.
Yeah.
But that was like the first beginning. And I think the first thing that I did community theater. Because that's where I came from. Theater was theater.
Right.
And I loved musicals. So I did Charlie's Aunt. I did, I went to Huntington Beach or something. I did Charity, Sweet Charity. I was Charity.
Nice.
I did. Yeah. So I would do all of these things around town work. And then I'd have, the night to do all that stuff. So I was heavily into theater.
And by the way, I want to interject because I know this from having worked with you. You can sing and you can dance. I mean, it's,
I can move and I can, sing. I would never record an album.
Right. But
I can sing.
But you definitely have.
I'm more Broadway. I'm more Broadway singing.
You have technique and you also are in tune, which is really.
Really? I always think I'm out of tune, but okay. I need to.
You were surprisingly strong for me because when we had worked together, I wasn't sure, a lot of actors and doing a musical comedy thing but you could sing and we worked with the choreographer and like you said, you can sing and you can move,
I can play it. I can, that's, I just did so much of that.
Yeah.
And, I certainly would love though to, what's the word I'm looking for, to really exercise my voice. Cause it's, with allergies and stuff,
right.
There's a placement there, that I just can't, there's no sound that comes out, and you're like, oh, maybe I should work on that. But I do. I love doing stuff. Yeah. I love singing, when we do improv and we do Sondheim or something like that. That's like my favorite thing. So yeah, but thank you.
Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. I love that part of what you do, and you're fearless in that too. Like you go for it, which I respect and appreciate. So there's a couple of other credits that show up, in order, and which kind of shows like how the beginning of a career typically starts. That was 1973.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Hold on.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Shoo! Oh,
Bless you.
allergies. Okay, thank you.
Right.
Yes, go ahead.
So 1973 TV show. 1981 is the next credit that I see. Now it's not, we'll talk about that in a moment, but that was The Devil and Max Devlin. You were fan number 1 at the Grammys. That's your credit.
That was it, yeah.
1986, 5 years later, you were Woman in Bookstore. Oh, in House.
On the House. House.
1987, The Brave Little Toaster, Rob's Mom, Two-Face Sewing Machine. Credited as Sewing Machine, thank you. Credited as Mindy Stern.
Mindy Stern?
That's what it said in.
You know why I might have done that? Maybe it was non-union at the time.
Oh, smart. Okay.
Yeah, might have been that.
So tell me about the in-betweens. It's always interesting how'd you get that job? How'd you end up in the Groundlings? And we can talk about all that. But how did you and how do you still maneuver through the weeks, months, years? We've all had a couple of years now with COVID of not working, but how do you deal with that emotionally? How do you keep your confidence up? How do you manage it financially? What happens to like a name actor when you're not in movies? Like you don't go back to typing. You're not.
No, but I really do think everybody goes through this, even people that work a lot, because again, I think this business is, it's a gift. It's this energy that you it's hard to be there all the time and to keep it going. But when it's out and it's not in your reach and you can't plug it in to give you this excitement, it does become really, really difficult. And I mean, we know that some people go into deep depression. Right. Some people, they go away for a while. Some people drink and do drugs. I've never had a kind of mood where it's dangerous for me. Or
right, you've also never had a substance abuse problem in your life. That's like
never did. Yeah, never did. Insecurity, definitely insecurity, and still to this day, when you're not working, you're not getting called, or you're not doing something, or I'm on the set and I can't get the words out, and I feel like a fool. I feel like I'm no good. That shit creeps in a lot.
Do you think that's part of is that just part of being an artist? Because I don't think you're
I think so. I think so. I have this psychiatrist, and I'm not crazy, though a little crazy, but it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I own my craziness, believe me, because I have memory issues, and I have focus issues sometimes. And so I had told him about that I have a lot of anxiety over learning lines and just anxiety, in general. And he goes, well, of course you do. You are, you create, you have this thing about you. So this is your business. And I thought, oh yeah, I guess you're right. We all do. We're creative, and everybody does. So to get through anything, you have to have incredible family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, for me, I think it certainly has helped me since I've been a mom. I think, and this is, I know I may be pedaling backwards, but I really think I grew up in life, I really think I grew up when I had my son, and Max is adopted. So it has more meaning than you could ever imagine for me, because that's just like what I wanted, and was having trouble. And
you chose Max. Yeah.
Yes. And so having him in my life, and the things he teaches me, and the things that I learned from him and can teach him, and then all these wonderful people in my life, I'm so grateful. I am so grateful that I can still do things, and that I'm not going to die if I don't do something. And so as you get older, as we know, more insecurities and more anxiety starts to hit you, because now it's like, oh my God, I look so old. Oh my God, is that what oh my God, I can't do anything though. Everyone will know that I did something to my face. And so you have that. And a set of problems. Oh my God, my feet hurt. Oh, I have arthritis on my foot. And you're like, what? And that's where you stop and you're like, okay, I cannot live the rest of my life worrying about this stuff.
Right.
And so through COVID and all of that, I remember in the very beginning, because I live in Santa Monica, and I live in an apartment, but it's near the beach. So it's a beautiful, you see the beach all the time. And I remember when this all started, I went, oh, well, this will be easy. I mean, it's like I'm like on a vacation. And then as we got into June and July, and you're like, oh my God, no, we can't do this another year. The panic started. But
for us too.
Yeah, I mean, and all of us. And
globally.
I think I try to the gratitude every day, just go through the gratitude. It doesn't mean that it's going to all of a sudden, make you 100%, but it's going to help a little bit. But having my son and having something that I know that I am there to make sure that he's, fed, that he's taken care of, that he's loved, that he's nurtured, that he is a good person, that he makes me laugh. We do things together. We play Scrabble together. I mean, I was so lucky to have someone as opposed to being alone.
Right.
And I felt for the people that were alone, but that's where you get online and you do all those. I think also too, and it really is just so cliche, but it really does help. Making other people feel good makes me feel really good. So if I know that I haven't talked to a person in a long time, and calling them and wanting to hear from them and them hearing from me, and then you leave with, oh my God, I'm so glad you called. I'm so glad you answered. I just want to check on you and blah, 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 blah. Then I don't know, things just seem to, you're not thinking about yourself all the time.
That's interesting that you said that because my first thought when you said making people feel good, I thought, right, as an actor, but you're talking as on a personal level, reaching out to people, connecting, honoring and cherishing your friendships. Which you do. You've got great friends.
I have amazing friends. I do.
Yeah, I've met your friends.
Yes.
And
yes.
And they've taken me in. Too.
Yes.
They were. You draw. The people who reflect who you are.
Yes.
And these are other people who share that idea of not being just self-centered. But to really just that we're all in this together, to watch out for each other and reach out.
And just to be kind to other people, even strangers. Like
it's not that hard.
It's nothing to say something. That's where I feel like I'm part of my mother, because I will talk to anybody now, and it's like, oh my God, Mindy. But because I remember growing up going, Mom, you don't even know them. What? It's, they're nice, very sweet. So I do a lot of that, Right. But I think just, I watch a lot of TV.
Yeah.
I think that, also makes me feel like I'm doing something. I don't have I have no hobbies, Terry, no hobbies.
You
no
don't,
hobbies.
for real?
No hobbies. No, I do not have a hobby other than the fact, I don't know if you can call this a hobby, but I do like cleaning.
I don't call that a hobby.
Okay.
I call it a skill.
I do like cleaning. Yeah.
But, I like vacuuming, and I'm glad
Me
I did.
too.
You do? Yeah.
You know why? And you know what else I love? I love the lint roller. After my dog and my cat are in my bed in the morning, I'm like, shh, shh, and it's like, oh, look at all this.
Right.
Because it's instant gratification.
Right. Yeah.
I love that.
That's true. Right. Because we play the long game in most areas of our life, and to the reward of just going over 5 feet of carpet and seeing it sparkle.
Yes. It's fantastic. Yes.
Yeah. I never really understood why I enjoyed it. Thanks for what do I owe you? So one of your credits that we both worked on a show, not at the same time, but the Larry Sanders Show.
Yeah.
I was in the acting in the house band, for the last year of the show. But did you write 3 episodes? Is that an accurate credit? Were you a writer?
No, I played a writer.
Oh, you played a writer. Okay.
So close.
Yes, so close. I played a writer, I guess, for 3 episodes, and it was great because I think I was the only woman in the room at that time. And then that's it. Then they just kind of wrote me off. But it was really fun and interesting, and oh my God, and it's funny to see me because I got my blonde hair and I've got these round glasses, and that was me. It wasn't like a caricature or anything. Yeah, now it was me at that time.
Can we find that on YouTube, or do you ever go down the YouTube?
Oh, you know what? I think I have it. What? How would I send it, or what, do I send it to you, or how would I do this?
You could. Lisa? What's the the easiest way to do this? Right? Can you just tell us what the link is, or is it? Yeah.
No, I'm sure. Link? Oh no. It's just the picture of me.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know what, and I wouldn't know.
I'll tell you what.
You'd have to look through it, I guess. But yeah,
send that to me, and I'll post it later when we repost the show, the archive. So
okay, I'll see if I can find it. Okay, great. Yeah. Yes,
we'll definitely do that. So let me ask you about how your life changed or didn't change when you got 2 Emmy nominations, and then also when you ended up in the Austin Powers movies, and also even more importantly. And you can answer that next. I'm really curious about your creative process. Like, how do you develop your characters, for all the various things that you do? But so Emmys, life-changing, besides being wonderful, and congratulations.
I think it was about that. It was really, I kind of, I was, they gave two producers put me in for different things. And then it comes out and it's like, oh my God. I can't choose which one I want.
Right.
Because I would feel horrible.
Right.
And I said,
yourself.
we'll put them both in and see which one, wins or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Well, then I found out that no, out of, all these people, and I think there was only 5 women that were up for it. And I was 2 of them.
Wow. That's really
So I
awesome.
thought,
yeah.
Well, that's what I thought. I thought, you know what? I mean, that's never going to happen again. And so I just let it be. And I go, look, I'm up against Jane Lynch.
Yeah.
Bottom line. So it was exciting. I didn't want to go that route of, my brother kept going, you're going to get this. You're going to get this. You're going to get this. So please don't do that. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. But anyway, it was very exciting because I got to bring my son. And, he's everything to me. So I got to bring my son, and my brother came, and it was the whole thing. And it wasn't the Emmys, it's the creative Emmys. And so it's a different group of people and whatnot, but it was very cool. I didn't win, and it was just an incredible experience. And the fact that I was 2 women out of 5 was a big deal.
Right.
So that was very cool. It didn't really all of a sudden boost my career or anything. But it was still an honor to have been a part of that group of people that we're all doing what we love doing. And oh my God, you mean there's a possibility of getting an award? That would be fantastic, but not necessarily. But I got nominated. All right, I'll take it. I'll take it. So so that was really, really lovely. And what was the other question?
Well, it was Austin Powers, but you just said something else that I want to. It made me think of this, or reminded me of this. You have sort of a ongoing joke in your house because you were mentioning Max and your son, and how great he is and how important he is to how you are to each other, of course. But the joke is you have this hashtag annoying mom. Is a phrase in the house.
Well, I started, I don't know, this was a couple of years ago, because he is so funny to me, and he loves to talk. I can just, I'm a pretty good interviewer. Like, I'll just say anything and everything. And then we used to drink together. I would have wine or a cocktail, and he would drink whiskey or something. And everybody was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this with your son." And it was just really fun and adorable. It wasn't like we were, crazy and
you're not
out of
talking
control.
About. It's not when Max was 5 years old. He's an adult.
No, he was like in his 20s,
Right.
And he's,
come on.
Yes. No. But we would just
before people start calling.
Can you imagine? Right. Oh, drink it, and then I'll let you go to bed.
Right.
But it would just be fun, and and he liked doing it, and now he doesn't drink now anymore, but. But anyway, so we got into this thing where I would just be, like, hey, so what are we doing? And, I showed pictures. So now the things that he's doing is just like Christmas is a great time to do a video of him opening something up that I know he's going to have he's going to really enjoy it and blah, blah, blah. And so we do that. And then sometimes I'll just have a question for him, or when he's cooking, I'll, do that. And I always end it with, Max, I love you. And he turns to me and he goes, I love you too.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So anybody, you can see my stuff on Instagram, so I put it out there, and everybody kept going, oh my God, you guys are so good together. You should do a YouTube show. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. Blah, 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 blah. And because he would be really funny,
I agree. Yeah.
But, but also too, one moment doesn't make a whole show.
Right. You know that well. Right. Because again, you work in improv, and the Groundlings, of course, is one of the world-renowned places to learn that and study that. And you also have taught there as well.
Yes, I have. I have. And Max is kind of, Max kind of grew up there because I would take him, and he loved to see the shows, and he would sit in the audience and he would yell out the best suggestions. Because he's so smart. They weren't like foul. They weren't nasty. They weren't stupid. He would yell out the best suggestions. It was always so cool. Hey, Max, you want to see him?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Oh, how cool. Get to meet Max.
Were you napping?
No.
Come here.
I've been up.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Max. Oh, he's not going to be able to hear me.
Oh, here, let me do this. Here, put
Yeah.
this in your ears.
Hey, Max, it's Terry.
Hey, Terry.
Hey, how are you? We're actually broadcasting live, but we were just talking about you and just how much fun you and your mom have together. And it's great to see you, by the way.
It's great to see you too.
Thank you. You look good.
Thank you.
I actually watched, your mom sent me when you went and did your stand-up.
I was the one who grabbed that for her, so thank me.
You. Well, there you go. Then Max, thank you, because I actually really enjoyed watching you do that. I because we're friends, we've known each other since you were young. We were both younger, but you were pretty great. You know,
Thank you.
You were having a good time. Did you enjoy it?
Thank you. I definitely enjoyed it. Unfortunately, work took up way too much time on my brain,
Yeah.
and I ended up having to put that to the wayside.
Good. And what are you working on now?
Nothing. Unfortunately, I kind of quit my job last year because they weren't having anything for me.
Right.
And my old boss started up a company for placement to help people like me and other disabilities get placed in other places. And in the past year, nothing has come up. So
yeah.
So if you got anything,
Where can people find you, Max, if they have ideas or jobs?
they can
Instagram
contact my
or your
mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
They can ask my mom. Yeah.
Cool. Well, by the way, thanks for jumping in. You were one of the best spontaneous guests that we've ever had jump into a live broadcast. So.
No problem. No problem. It was nice seeing you again.
You too. Thanks,
You
Max.
can't see me, but
Thanks,
I'm here.
Max.
I'm cheering for Max.
Oh, great.
He was the best. That was like an
Aw.
elevator pitch. This is where you can tap me for a job or anything else that I might be able to do. And please give me credit for my mind being able to find anything.
Yeah.
All in one.
He's very helpful here. We worked out a deal and I pay him and he's been, really, really good and almost like an assistant, but not really an assistant.
Yeah.
But because I have dog and cat and if I go away, I trust him.
Right. Yeah. You did some traveling recently.
Yeah.
You were working on another film or TV show.
Yeah.
So Austin Powers.
Yes.
We can't not talk about it. How did that change your life? Did the phone blow up? I mean, did people recognize you more? I know it was like you were so perfect for the role. You really just, it was just great, and that's why I'm curious about the creative process. Like, how do you discover a character like that and birth a character like that?
Well, I think that it was just she was German.
Yeah.
And I only do one accent.
Fortunately, that's what they needed.
I mean, I'd have to hear other accents, you know what I mean? And I can, sort of do it. But I mean, so I did ask my father, he was alive at the time, and I did ask him, how can I hear you do a German accent? Because he was really, really good with dialects. So I kind of worked a little bit on that. And, I think it was just, I didn't have anybody that I looked at or that I took it from. I didn't want to look at all the movies that had that similar type of character. I just kind of wanted to come up by it myself. And, and she was very severe and, she was also very cookie. And so I just kind of did it. And it just, I don't know, it's just one of those things you're like, oh my God, you're kidding. And, but remember, the first one wasn't as big of a deal. It wasn't, didn't do as well. And then it did well in VHS, when I went, to video. And then the second and third, topped it and stuff. So it was, each time I got that call, you're like, what? Yes.
We're doing it again? Yeah, absolutely.
And hopefully, I don't know, but hopefully he's got one more left in him. I mean, it would be a shame. It would be a shame. So,
Are they writing a little bit and just developing ideas, or who knows?
Every year, there's somebody, gets that information. I don't know where, and it's never happened. So
the internet.
Let's just wait and see and pray. And
people did her bio.
Yes. So I have no idea, but it definitely changed my life. It definitely made and gave me a little more status It gave me, oh my God, she's very funny. But in the beginning, they all wanted me to do something like that.
Oh, yeah.
She's Russian. Well, it's going to sound the same. I'm going to do the same kind of character. And so that was kind of, but it did certainly open doors.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And, you do a lot of voiceover. So you really have, I would imagine, a lot of creative input in developing a style of speaking, a cadence, a pitch, or just, a character. I mean, or do you, or how do you find a voice for an animated character? Like
I'm always learning. And a lot of times they'll say, because I do more animation than I do commercials. And it's just trying different things out. I mean, I need to learn a little bit more about how people come up with things, or what do they think of that gives them this. But, and a lot of times it's like they just want your voice, or it's kind of characters I've done in my lifetime, that I can put a thing to it, or if they have a picture, gives you maybe something, to hone into. But I'm still learning what would be the best way to do it. And sometimes it's just, I think you have to look to see, well, what kind of show this is, what is the style of it, and then certainly go from there. But I really am amazed at the voices that people can bring to these characters and how they live and how they're incredible. And my one voice that was really, really did very well for me was from The Legend of Korra. And it was Lin Belfong, and she was a lieutenant in the army. And and really it was my voice, but she had power and strength. And it was just like, oh my God, wow, how cool. And people still, can't believe that was me. And it's like, well, it pretty much, yeah, it is. So I love the voiceover world. I think it's amazing. And the talent because somebody can do, like 100 things.
Right. Because I've seen you credited for 2 or 3 characters in an animated a video game or movie, TV show. Before I open it up for audience questions, and Lisa, I would be astounded if you didn't have things that you wanted to say as well, being a film actor yourself. But we were talking about life-changing things, and it would be remiss not to talk about that you are a cancer survivor. So
yes.
Let's talk about that for a moment.
Yes, I am a breast cancer survivor. I think it started in 1998 was my first breast. My second was 99. I did not have them. I did not have a double mastectomy. They just, were able to cut around it and give me a lumpectomy on both of them. So that was nice. But I went through chemo and, certainly all of that. And at the time, my son was very young. He was probably like 4, something like that. And it was really hard on me. I think what kept me going was my son, and B, because I think it was the first one that came out, the first Austin Powers that came out, and I had to deal with it, and I had to go to, or maybe the second, I don't know, but I had to go to interviews and but I had all this stuff going on. So I got a wig, somebody gave me a wig, and I kind of did it. And I think my energy and my thankfulness to have something that I could do, something that I loved that was still manageable for me, really helped a lot. I think that, my ex, helped in the home and helped with Max, and I could do these things, and then I could come home and, sleep or whatever. But I'll tell you, I was very grateful for what was given to me in the life with, here's your breast cancer, but also here are all these other wonderful things happening to you in your career. Yeah.
And you do, you do some volunteer work for one of the cancer societies.
Yes, it's LLS. It's lymphoma. it's a Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And every year I was voted, I think, twice Woman of the Year. And then I did an all-star one. So I've done it like 3 times. And it's like a big campaign. And then I try to, get people that I know and wonderful celebrities or things that can be offered to people for a fundraiser, like Charity Buzz. So if there is anybody that's listening that, would have a great experience to offer someone or something that could be bid on, those are the kind of wonderful things I'm looking for. Because even though I'm not running, I'm still, look, cancer is cancer. It doesn't matter what kind of cancer it is. It sucks. I don't wish it on anyone. And, but so we're certainly trying to make it easier.
Thanks for sharing that. Do you have a few more minutes to hang out so we can see
Sure.
if anybody wants to? Lisa, do you or any of our audience members want to jump in?
I'm checking. Let me check really quick. I want to see if I see any hands up, and I don't.
Great.
But if there's anyone there with a question, please get your hand up, and I will come back for you.
Great.
Oh my God, that's so cute. They put their hand up like that on the yellow.
They can put a hand up, or they can type something in, and I can go in here.
Oh, how adorable.
Or if you want to be really
They can
quick,
wave and they
request to
can
come on stage, and then I'll know that you're.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay.
By the way, they can also clap. So anybody in the audience, why don't you show your love right now just by clapping so Mindy can hear you?
Well, I can see Lisa's clapping. Oh my God, Chris is clapping. And
I love
oh my God, that's them. I hear them.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah, we do love you. Thank you for joining us too. So,
Oh my God.
So Lisa, questions, comments, you must have something to say.
You know what? This has just been fun. My energy is like going up. But I actually was looking at the thing where it was talking about your cancer, and you just got that because I thought there really is a lot of information out here.
Yeah.
But I really want you to speak to what were some of, and you talked about it a little bit, those days when you leave an audition or you have this experience where you're like, what am I doing? Crash and burn. How am I? Because that's that imposter syndrome that everybody has. It's actually not just us.
No, it is everyone. There's everyone I've talked to, everyone that and memorizing lines. Big deal. And right now, with this self-tape, I don't know about you, Lisa, but I had a really hard time with it. That big, round light in your face, that ring light.
I'm looking at one right now. I know.
And you're in a weird spot, and blah, 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 and I just can't put my head into it. So I did find someone. His name is Jeff Pride, and he has a little studio. And I go to him, and he will do it all. And he's got the background, and he even has a teleprompter.
Oh, now there you're whistling Dixie and singing songs in people's ear.
And I'm telling you, I've had two sessions with him, and I saw the difference in my work, and I just said, it's because I'm not thinking, I am not trying to remember. I just really, as I've gotten older, it's just out of my hands, and I can read and do what I love doing is acting, and not worried about, what's that next line? Or, I didn't say that right. Or, because that is really, really hard. Now, a lot of people like it because you can do it over and over and over again until you get it right. That just brings me more
anxiety ridden.
Because then you start to get into your head, and Yeah.
And also,
I just want to do it, have it done, and not have to keep thinking about the fact that, I have to do this again.
And to also not be a producer, a lighting director, just an editor, all of that stuff. You can focus on just being an artist.
And he doesn't have the light. He's got these lights like on the side. It's so much more comfortable, and I'll give you a note. But that's his name if anybody wants to look him up. But I remember the days when we would go, and I literally would leave there like every single time. I'm going, I suck. Oh God, what did I do? Oh my God. I mean, I do. And then I'll tell you something when I was younger, when I would go to things, I would always prepare myself to suck and leave if I just felt bad, but I always had something to look forward to, whether it be I would go buy some nail polish or I would have a cookie in my car or something to say, you're going to be okay.
Yeah, it's sort of like I'm going to reward myself. Okay, so really quick, second question.
Yes.
Can you think of one of your auditions where you left there feeling like I nailed this? Like, I don't know if I'm going to get it, but I feel like I nailed it.
And that I did or I didn't?
No, that you did. Because you know what? We don't have control over the outcome, but sometimes you go in there so have you ever had one of those where you left and you just go, I feel good about
very
what I
much.
did.
Very much been disappointed, but I don't know, for me, even these auditions that I'm doing, if I don't get it, I'm okay. But for me, I just want to do good. I want to do good. I want to look good because we know we're looking and it's like, oh God, I love her. Lisa's wonderful. But Pat, she just looks like the character. It has nothing to do with bad or good because you wouldn't be called in if you were really bad. And I know I need to say that to myself and to everyone else. But, it's out of our hands, and it's a very strange business that we are in. And that's why we have to be good to ourselves. That's why we have to give ourselves, we have to do manicures and we have to do massages. And we do have to be okay with ourselves. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
That's a practice.
Yes, it is all the time.
For me as well. I feel like you're describing my life as well when I hear that.
Yeah.
Every between every tour and album or TV show, it's just you just wonder. That's why I asked you earlier in the show about keeping your confidence up, because I know that my experience personally, but also from being around artists, my adult life, and my peers. There's always this self-doubt and this questioning and also talent doesn't automatically equal work.
No.
Yes. I mean, I know a lot of amazing people that are still, like, when am I going to get to that next place or blah, 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 blah. But it's always like, this is another quote of mine. I always say, don't ever give up because I'm telling you, that call could come tomorrow. The call could come tomorrow. The opportunity could come tomorrow. That person is going to find you tomorrow. And it's happened for me. Like within like a week or something, all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I just got this offer. So it's all. That's all it takes is just they could call you tomorrow. And change your life,
Right. And I'm thinking of Five-ish Finkel. There are people who were, did theater and then they're on TV like the second half of their life in films and doing all this beautiful work.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that for you that you said this earlier in the show about you were told or had this idea that, you were told that you were going to do well when you got older.
And now I'm very older. I'm very much older. And, but it's also too, and then to fill in your days or fill in your time where you're doing something that makes you feel good, whether it's exercise, whether it's having a friend over, whether it's, writing, whether it's, find something that, or watching TV. That's what I do.
Yeah,
but find something. And I think too, we all always have to say, I'm not doing anything good. I'm not producing anything. Well, do we have to be producing something all the time?
All the time.
Can't we just sit back and watch something that maybe fills your heart and go, oh my God, I just took some kind of technique from that person's acting or how much that thing moved me or, or I'm going to paint this, whatever it is that we do. So because this business will suck us dry if we let it. I mean, in everything. And, but it is hard to constantly believe in yourself when something isn't coming right away, but the phone call might come tomorrow.
Right. I'm so glad you're saying all that.
Look,
no, it's great because it's the truth.
Cicely Tyson was working well into her 90s. I always told people it was a career that you can't age out of.
Yes. Yes, as long as I can remember the words.
There's that part right there.
But they have a teleprompter.
Then you just have to be able to see. It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Little glasses on. Yes.
That's well said. That there's certainly some artists, and some of them, by the way, not old artists, but like in their 30s and 40s who have teleprompters, like concerts, rock concerts and things like that, just because it's a lot. It's a lot to remember.
It is. And some of us, aging takes on different forms.
Right.
And I've always had a little bit of a problem. And so I own it. But I can let it beat me up too. So I have to find a way to deal with it and ask for help. I just don't want that to to hinder the fact that I can act. Mm-hmm. It's just, those words. If I have to do them perfect, that's where I get in trouble.
Right. So that's great that you are comfortable with asking for help. I think that's really
sometimes.
Ah.
Sometimes, not all the time.
Well, because sometimes it might not be received well. Right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, you have to feel it out, I think. Yeah.
You have to read the room.
Yeah.
But there are perhaps people that you've worked with before or other improv actors, who you end up in film and TV work with that you sort of have a mutual training and connection. So it's kind of okay to mess up a little bit because it's no reflection on your acting skill. It means
sometimes they want you to do improv. They like, yes, oh my God, please play.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm there.
Right. That's my thing. Right. But it just allows the humanity in.
Yes.
And so I suppose that what it sounds like you're saying is that you have to remember first, to accept and not judge yourself.
Yes.
And then it will extend out from that. And then there's going to be occasionally some asshole who's not going to be very nice about it, because you dropped the line.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But it's not that you don't respect the writer.
It has nothing to do with that. Yeah.
Look, anybody who's ever been in a play, I did that in high school.
I've done them.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a remarkable amount of memorization. And
I've done that in the last couple of years. It was a 2-person play. I went to North Carolina to do it for the 3rd time. And I thought it would be easier to relearn it. It wasn't. It was very difficult for me. Okay. And I had, I had stuff with it. But between me and this amazing, wonderful other actress, Arnisha Walker, she and I just worked together and got through it. And she remembers, much more than I did. But I never made it look like, or hopefully made it look like, it's over. You just find a way to keep going and commit and blah, 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 and something will happen. And so, it is. And I love doing plays. So it's not like I wouldn't want to do it, but it's just, you find different stuff too, that makes you look good.
What do you love about it? In comparison to doing film and television? I know they're all different things, but what's the thing about theater that jumps out? And we have a audience member who wants to join in the conversation as well with a question, which would be great. But what is it about theater that you love?
Well, I love it's like doing improv. You have the reaction. You can hear moans, groans, or laughs, or whatever. You instantly, and if you know that it's a comedy, you're going to hear immediate response, whether it be big or little. But that kind of, I think, feeds on actors as well. I'm not crazy about sitcoms now with that, because it's a different tool. I mean, the acting in sitcoms, there's very formula. Right. But a play, you're telling a story for, 2 hours. Mm-hmm. There's much more to cover. When you do a show like the Goldbergs, is there a live audience or not? That's kind of better, right? Yeah, it is. It works really better. And, we laugh for each other. Sure. So, so that's fine. We know when something's funny and, oh my God, it's great. And blah, blah. But there is no reaction that way. Lisa, do we have Chris on stage? Chris, are you there?
you can unmute yourself if you're on stage.
Well, yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Hi, thanks for joining
Hi,
us.
Chris.
Hi, Mindy. I have a quick question for you. I took some improv classes recently at my local community college because they're free.
Yes.
And I wanted to know, with voiceover work, which is what interests me the most right now.
And you have a good voice.
Why, thank you.
Yeah.
What do you like the most about voiceover work? And do you do it at home? Do you have a recording studio in your home, or do you prefer to go elsewhere for recording?
Chris, I love going elsewhere. My studio is in my closet with my clothes, and I am stuck in my closet, and I have a microphone, I have earphones. So I think what we had to do with this whole, virus thing, that people had to start doing stuff from home. So they either build things for themselves. I don't have the place to do that here. So if I have an opportunity to go somewhere, I will go there. But otherwise, I just do it in my home.
Great, I understand. And what is I almost said the word funnest. What is that? What is the funnest thing that you like about voiceover work, and what is the thing you don't like about it?
What I love about it is you don't have to look a certain way. You can be very comfortable wherever you are. I love, because you're still acting, so I love coming up with the voice that matches what they're looking for or what you can bring to it. You don't have to memorize lines. And you get to help create what they have written. And they're usually very, very funny writing. So it makes me laugh. And then what I don't like about it, not getting the part. Thinking you did a great job, like anything, going, God, I did like 8 voices, over the week. Nothing, so yeah, getting the job we love, but getting the job, I don't like that.
Terry, can I ask one more quick question and I'll leave?
Sure. Thank you, Chris. Absolutely.
Thank you for your patience. Mindy, I'm practicing a voice right now for something I'm going to be doing on another app tonight, a live show where we impersonate people. So I'm singing as Edith Bunker, singing an Adele song. So I was practicing here in the kitchen while I'm making the mashed potatoes for tonight.
Yes.
My wife says, I think you've nailed it. I don't need to hear any more. Is that a compliment? Is that a compliment?
Oh my God. I want to hear it now.
You want to grace us, Chris?
Hello, it's me. Anyway, something.
Yes, that's great.
Bravo.
Keep making the mashed potatoes. You've nailed
Okay,
it.
thank you so much for your time.
You
Chris,
got it, Chris. Thank you. Oh, how funny. That's great. That's great.
I want to get to our closing questions.
Yes.
And also, it just came to mind also because I'm having so much fun with you, and Chris was clearly in the same business as us, a great speaking voice.
Yes.
Our guest next week is Tommy Davidson, actor,
Oh,
comedian, and singer. Do you know Tommy?
I don't. I've met him once, but I don't know him. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. Tommy's got a record out now too. So,
awesome.
But anyway, so it's kind of cool that we're getting into acting, comedy improv as well, which I love. And you go way back with the Groundlings. I had the pleasure of being friends with Gary Austin and had him on my show years ago before he passed away of cancer. And that was a fun conversation as well. He was a great teacher.
He was a really good teacher. I took from him after I'd been in the Groundlings. So, and he was doing his own workshop. And I think it was Lisa Kudrow and I, where we decided to, I think maybe we saw him at something and he said, oh my God, you guys should come and do my class. And it was the best. He had such fun things to offer us. He was a great teacher. He's so beloved by so many of his students and people. So yeah, he was a wonderful guy.
Yeah. He introduced me to improv.
Yeah.
Because I trained with him as well, and it was great.
Yeah, he started the Groundlings. Yeah,
he did. So my questions before I turn over last words to you for anything else that you want to cover that we haven't is, since this show is called Making It, What does making it mean to you both personally and professionally?
Okay, so that's a good one. Well, I always remembered that when I first came out here and I was working and I had my jobs and then I would do my classes, blah, blah, blah. I would always say, I don't have to be a star, but what I would really like to do is I would like to just make money off of my acting. To me, that would make me successful, which I did. And then making it too, I guess making it can be, success. What is success? And having my son, having my dog, and one of my last cats. I think that my son is a huge part of who I am. And I feel like I've gotten so much more than I thought I would get, or maybe that I wanted, because, so all of that and great friends and where I live, I can say I've made it. And also Austin Powers really helped a lot.
That didn't hurt.
So there's so many things that I can say. Making it is different things to different people. I understand that. So I think it's all of that, those things. I mean, I wouldn't be happy if I didn't have my son, but I acted. I wouldn't be happy if I had my son, but I couldn't act in something. So they kind of go together because it's who we are. Right. Yeah, and my health and, all good stuff is making it for me.
Thanks. Can you share 3 tips for success that have driven your career?
Be kind to others. And do things that make you feel good, whether it be parts, whether it be whatever it is that you do. Because if you're feeling good most of the time, then because we get knocked down so much, then that's going to pay off. Sometimes it's just finding other ways to get what you want. Some people, a lot of people came to the Groundlings and they thought, oh, I want to act. And then they end up being a writer or, or a producer. So sometimes you start one thing and you're like, wait a minute, I want to direct, or, I want to do this, or blah, blah, blah. So listen to those, I think those things that might be surrounding you that you don't even know are coming yet.
Mm-hmm. Great tips. Final question is, at this point of your life, with everything that you know to be true, what would you tell your younger self? I'm talking about Mindy, little Mindy growing up in Miami.
You're loud. I would say, I just, what I would say, believe in yourself more. Yeah, that's a hard thing. Believe in yourself more. Believe it's going to be okay. Yeah.
Beautiful. Really beautifully said. Final words, anything more you want to share with our audience? By the way, I think, Lisa, you've already been posting this, but where can people find you? Instagram, of course. That's your main.
That's my main squeeze. Yes. Yeah. So Mindy Stir. Mindy Stir. I don't even know the last time I was on Twitter, so I'm so sorry. Right. But I think there. And sometimes I'm at the Groundlings, so you can always call or find out if I'm ever going to be performing there. I'll do improv there. But yeah, I think Instagram is probably the best place to connect with me.
Great, thanks. Anything else you want to say?
Well, I want to say to you, I am so glad that we've reconnected and that we haven't seen each other in a while and stuff, but I've always thought you were such a lovely, lovely man. And that this came to happen, and you have made this a wonderful thing for yourself and others. And it's so nice to meet Lisa. And I'm always there if you ever need anything. I'm there for you, and I know you'd be there for me. So yeah, don't be a stranger.
Thank you. I feel the same way. I just love and adore you and Max. And
thank you.
And it's great to have him as a guest artist today.
I know.
His guest appearance. That was wonderful. We're going to be releasing all of these episodes on Spotify and iTunes and
Oh, great.
iHeart and everywhere with my own music opening theme and everything.
Great.
So you'll get to hear a little bit of that as well.
Awesome.
Thanks for
Great.
asking
Yay.
about that. Yeah. So anyway, everybody, we love you. Thank you.
Love you guys. Thank you. Yes,
Stay
me too.
inspired. Yeah.
Bye,
I'll talk to you
everybody.
soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Tune in again next week for another great episode of Making It with Terry Wollman.